a world where emotions often control our actions, few thinkers dare to suggest the opposite, that true power lies in controlling our emotions. One of the most influential political philosophers of the Renaissance believed that emotions are not weaknesses to be eliminated, but forces to be mastered. According to him, a person who cannot control their anger, fear, or excitement becomes predictable, and in a world driven by power and strategy, predictability is dangerous. Machiavelli's ideas were not about being cold or heartless, but about being aware. He argued that successful individuals, especially leaders, must learn to hide their true feelings, think before they act, and use emotions wisely rather than being ruled by them. To him, the ability to remain calm in chaos and rational in pressure was the key to maintaining control over both oneself and others. Today, even beyond politics, his philosophy still applies. Whether in daily life, relationships, or personal growth, mastering emotions can shape our decisions, protect our image, and strengthen our character. In this discussion, we will explore 5 powerful ideas inspired by Machiavelli that can help us take control of our emotions instead of letting them control us. 1. Control outward expression. When we talk about controlling emotions, the first lesson from Machiavelli is simple but powerful. It's not just about what you feel, it's about what you show. Imagine this: inside, you might be angry, nervous, or even afraid, but on the outside, you remain calm, steady, and composed. Why? Because people don't react to your inner feelings, they react to what they see. Machiavelli believed that showing too much emotion makes you predictable. If others can read your face like a book, they can control you. They know when to pressure you, when to manipulate you, and when you're weak. But when your expression is controlled, you become unreadable, and that gives you power. Think of a leader standing in front of a crisis. If they panic, everyone panics. But if they stay calm, others feel secure. This doesn't mean you suppress your emotions forever. It means you choose when to reveal them. So next time you feel overwhelmed, don't rush to show it. Pause, breathe, let your mind take control before your face does. Because in the game of life, control over your expression is control over perception, and perception is power. 2. Use emotions as tools. Machiavelli didn't see emotions as something to eliminate. He saw them as something to use. Think about that for a moment. Instead of being controlled by anger, fear, or kindness, what if you could control them and use them to influence others? For example, showing a little anger at the right moment can make people take you seriously. It can create authority. But uncontrolled anger, that destroys respect. In the same way, showing kindness can build trust and loyalty, but too much softness can make people take advantage of you. The idea here is balance and intention. Emotions should not be random reactions, they should be chosen responses. When you display emotion, ask yourself, what effect will this have? Will it strengthen your position or weaken it? Machiavelli believed that people judge you based on what you show them. So if you want respect, sometimes you must show strength. If you want loyalty, sometimes you must show compassion. But always remember, you are in control of the display. This mindset changes everything. Instead of saying, I got angry, you start saying, I chose to show anger. That shift from reaction to strategy is what turns emotions from weaknesses into powerful tools. 3. Avoid impulsive decisions. One of the biggest mistakes people make is acting in the heat of the moment. Machiavelli strongly warned against this. When emotions rise, logic often disappears, and decisions made in anger, fear, or excitement are usually the ones we regret the most. Think about a time when you said something in anger. In that moment, it felt right. But later, when the emotion faded, you realized it caused more harm than good. That's exactly what Machiavelli wanted to avoid. Decisions driven by temporary feelings instead of clear thinking. He believed that power comes from patience. When something triggers you, the strongest move is not to react immediately. Instead, pause, step back, let the emotion settle. Because once your mind is calm, you can see the situation clearly. Impulsive actions may feel satisfying for a second, but they often create long-term problems. On the other hand, controlled responses might feel slower, but they lead to better outcomes. So train yourself to delay your reactions, count to 10, take a breath, or even walk away if needed. Because true control isn't about never feeling emotions, it's about not letting them decide your actions. And in that pause, you gain clarity, control, and power. 4. Stay rational in difficult situations. Life is full of difficult moments, pressure, fear, uncertainty, and in those moments emotions can easily take over. But Machiavelli believed that this is exactly when you must rely on reason the most. When fear enters your mind, it tries to convince you that things are worse than they really are. When anger rises, it pushes you toward conflict. But logic gives you balance. It helps you see reality as it is, not as your emotions distort it. Imagine being in a stressful situation where everything feels out of control. Most people react emotionally, they panic, they overthink, they make rushed decisions. But the person who stays calm, who thinks clearly, immediately stands out. That person becomes the one others look to for direction. Machiavelli valued practicality over emotional comfort. He believed that decisions should be based on what works, not on what feels good in the moment. Because feelings change, but consequences stay. So in tough situations, train your mind to ask, what is the smartest move right now? Not the easiest, not the most emotional, but the smartest. Because when you can stay rational while others lose control, you gain a powerful advantage. You become steady in chaos, and that is where true strength lies. 5. Adapt your behavior. The final lesson is about flexibility. Machiavelli believed that strength doesn't come from being one thing all the time. It comes from knowing when to change. Sometimes you need to be kind, sometimes you need to be firm, and sometimes you need to be something in between. Many people think controlling emotions means always staying calm or always being nice, but that's not true. Real control means adjusting your response based on the situation. It's about understanding what the moment requires and becoming that. For example, in a friendly environment, showing warmth builds connection. But in a competitive or challenging situation, showing too much softness can make you seem weak. In that case, firmness and confidence are more effective. Machiavelli taught that people who cannot adapt become predictable, and predictable people are easy to defeat. But those who can shift their behavior remain unpredictable and powerful. So don't limit yourself to one emotional style. Learn to observe, understand, and respond accordingly. Ask yourself, what does this situation demand from me? Because when you master adaptation, you don't just control your emotions, you control your presence, your influence, and ultimately your outcomes. So, what have we learned today? Controlling emotions isn't about becoming cold or emotionless. It's about mastering what you feel so it doesn't control what you do. As Machiavelli suggests, power doesn't come from eliminating emotions. It comes from understanding them, shaping them, and using them wisely. When you control your expressions, you control how people see you. When you use emotions as tools, you influence how people respond to you. When you avoid impulsive decisions, you protect yourself from regret. When you stay rational in difficult moments, you rise above chaos. And when you adapt your behavior, you stay one step ahead of everyone else. This is not just philosophy, it's a practical way to live smarter, think clearer, and act stronger in everyday life. If you found this video helpful and want more deep ideas from philosophy and powerful thinkers, make sure to hit that like button, share this with someone who needs it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Stay calm, stay sharp, and stay in control.